Dive into a really powerful framework from Michael Bungay Stanier's book, Do More Great Work. It's all about a simple but game-changing idea, how you can stop drowning in all the busy work and finally start focusing on the work that actually matters.
So, let's start with a feeling I think we all know a little too well. The trap of just being constantly busy. You know what I'm talking about. The back-to-back meetings, that inbox that just never seems to empty, the endless to-do list. It's like we wear busy as this badge of honor, but does it really mean we're being successful? Does it lead to anything meaningful?
And that really gets to the heart of the challenge we're tackling here. How do we make that shift? How do we go from just being busy to doing work that actually feels like it has a purpose? You know, the kind of work that truly engages us, stretches us, and in the end, makes a real, tangible difference.
So how do we break out of that busy work trap? Well, we start with a new map. It's a really simple but kind of brilliant way to look at our work, breaking down everything we do into just 3 different categories.
Okay, first up, we've got bad work. This is the stuff that just sucks the life out of you. Think about all that soul-crushing bureaucracy, the meetings that definitely could have been an email, or those ancient processes that just make everything harder. It's work that adds no real value, and let's be honest, we all want a lot less of it.
Next, there's good work. Now this is the essential, productive stuff. It's really the bread and butter of your job, right? It's familiar, it's useful, and it keeps the lights on. Most of our days are spent right here. And you know what? That's okay. Good work is absolutely vital. And then there's great work. This is the work that really lights you up inside. It's meaningful to you, it creates an impact, and it makes a difference that you can actually see and feel. Yeah, it's often challenging, and it probably pushes you out of your comfort zone. But this is where the real fulfillment, the real growth, actually happens.
So here's a really crucial point. The goal isn't to just throw out all your responsibilities and get rid of your good work. Not at all. The real aim here is to consciously shift the balance. Minimize the bad work as much as possible so you can carve out more time and energy for that great work.
Okay, so let's get practical and dive into our first tool. Because if we're going to figure out where we're going, we first have to get a really honest look at where we are right now. So, we're going to create a little map of your current work life.
The first step is super simple, but so revealing. Just take this circle and based on your gut feeling, divide it into 3 pie slices. 1 for bad work, 1 for good, and 1 for great. Seriously, don't overthink it. Just go with your first instinct of how you spend your time.
So what do most people's maps look like? Well, research from the book shows that for a lot of us, it looks something like this. A huge chunk of good work, which makes sense. A pretty significant slice of bad work. And then, often there's this surprisingly small little sliver left over for the great work.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Take a look at the map you just imagined. How does it compare to this average one? What does it tell you? Are you surprised at all? Maybe at how much time goes into that bad work? Or maybe how little is left for the great work? This simple little drawing can spark some really big insights. Let's look at a quick example. Andy, a marketing lead, he did this exercise and it gave him a total breakthrough. He realized his great work, the innovative strategy stuff he loved, was only taking up about 10% of his time. And a whopping 30% was bad work, which he hilariously called managing delicate egos. But here's the genius part. He reframed it. He realized that tackling that team dysfunction wasn't bad work at all. It was actually a new great work project in disguise, becoming the kind of strong, unifying leader his team really needed.
Okay, so now we have a map of our starting point. What's next? Well, we're going to look to our past, because it turns out our past experiences hold some powerful clues for our future. It's time to do a little personal archaeology. So for our second map, we're going to hunt for what the book calls peak moments. Think back to those times in your career when you felt totally alive, completely engaged, like you were firing on all cylinders and just being your most authentic self. Those moments, they hold the DNA of your great work.
The process here is pretty straightforward. First, just try to recall 3 or 4 of these peak moments. Then, give each one a short, memorable title. After that, just jot down a few notes about what happened, and this is the most important part, how it made you feel. And finally, you look for the golden thread. What are the common themes connecting these stories of you at your absolute best?
And that is the real power of this whole exercise. Those common themes you start to see.
Maybe it's about solving a tough problem or bringing people together or building something totally new. They're not just nice memories. They are powerful, direct clues that point right to the seeds of your future great work. Ultimately, what this is all about is getting closer to your unique, authentic self. I love this quote because it really says it all. When you operate from that authentic place, you tap into something nobody else has. That is where your true power, your competitive advantage really lies. So, there you have it. You've now drawn your first maps, you've uncovered some vital clues from your past, you should have a much better feel for where you are right now and what your great work actually feels like. This is the foundation for the whole journey ahead. But it is so important to remember this. Your maps, they're not perfect, and they're not permanent. They aren't reality itself. They're just your best guess at what reality looks like for you right now. Think of them as tools to give you a new perspective and spark some action, not as some kind of rigid definition of who you are. And that's the real power of this whole framework, isn't it? It's not about looking back with regret or wishing things were different. It's about empowerment. Just like Karl Barth said, you can start right where you are, right this second, and begin to consciously design a more fulfilling, more impactful ending to your story. So we've given you the first couple of tools to get you started on this journey. You've mapped your present, you've looked for clues in your past. But really, this is just the beginning. The only real question left is the one on the screen. You've drawn your first map. What will you discover next?
Please do subscribe.